Good morning, everyone. I'm bringing you this message from my rather untidy office this morning, and yeah, I really think I should do a better job of arranging my books. But yeah, okay. So, this morning I want to talk about the EGH project. And first of all, a big God bless you to all who have been given to the EGH project over the years. The project was launched in 2010, and I guess at the end of today, we're going to be giving perhaps a record of your giving. If you've ever given to the EGH project, you will be getting at the end of the service a record of how much you've given since 2010 till I think March 2019. Yeah, but also to say that now we're determined to press ahead with the project, and fundraising has commenced in earnest. Most families would have received a pack on Easter Sunday. It contains the EGH plan, it contains a pledge letter, a cover letter from the EGH fundraising chairman, which is Mr. Michael Reed. So please, if you consider this church your home church, please do take one of the packs. It doesn't matter whether you come to the church with your family or you come alone. And I would want everybody to be engaged in what I think would be a tremendous blessing, not just to the area, but also to our personal lives. I wouldn't want you to say, well, I'm too young, or I'm in my 20s, or I'm in my 30s, and this has nothing to do with me. I don't have a family, I'm single. I would want everybody to participate in what I believe to be a common blessing. We've given out 35 packs, and I think so. Yesterday, I printed 10 extra packs. I would also want to talk about something with respect to the amount of money you should be giving to the EGH. Now, that's a very personal thing. I can't give a percentage, nor can I give you an amount. But what I can say is that as you give to the EGH, treat it as your giving because of God's faithfulness to you. Think of it as your giving because God has been faithful to you in every aspect of your life. Think of it as a spiritual journey. When you're giving, think of this bundle of blessings that God has bestowed upon you. And when I say blessings, I'm not just talking of monetary blessings. Think of how God has saved you, the salvation that you have in Christ. Think in terms of the children He's blessed you with, the education He's blessed you with, the car He's blessed you with, because everything, of course, belongs to God. And I have some thoughts on that. I might send that on WhatsApp group and have a read through that. We're also going to be having. I'm actually working on a section of our website now where it also lists quite a few things about the EGH project. And there's a link there that says donate. That's really meant not for us in the UK, well, not for us in church, but it's meant for our friends and families whom we want to ask to donate to the EGH project. I, for one, have quite a lot of friends and family in the US and in other places of the world, and they're willing to contribute to the EGH project, and that will be the means by which they will do so. Okay, so I have some notes to my side here, so if you see me looking sideways and scrolling, I'm just going to be looking at my notes. So the other thing I want to say is our fundraising approach is to raise as much money as possible so that we're able to pay off any borrowings as soon as possible. Now, so to this end, we hope to complete the redevelopments in the next 9 months. That's our target. We want to complete the EGH project in the next 9 months, and this would only be possible if we have early givers, because we need to be raising the amounts, some minimum amounts that we need. I think it's 30% of the cost before the Baptist Building Fund, I think it is called, would loan us at a low interest rate the other 70%. But we have covered this at various church members' meetings and stakeholder meetings. But we might hold another one if people are interested in attending. Now, so although the church will, after the EGH, we will definitely be able to pay back the loan simply because we're going to be giving out, using the building for rentals and revenue generation and all of that. But what we're really looking at is paying off the EGH costs ourselves and not relying on rental income. The rental income that we will generate, we would dedicate that to mission and to discipleship and to the other things that the church should be doing, equipping the children's ministry and so on and so forth. So in summary, the EGH fundraising campaign will continue until all the monies are fully paid up. So do pick up a plan and a platform and consider prayerfully how you might financially support this EGH project. So I'd like to end with three things. Well, not three things. I would like to end with 4 Ds. I love my letters. So I'd like to end with 4 Ds. Now, 3 of the Ds we need to avoid, but 1 of the Ds we need to embrace. Now, the first D we must watch out for is delay. We had a sermon based on Haggai where the people of God were saying, it is not yet time to build God's house. It is not yet time to build God's house. Haggai chapter 1, I think it is, and verses 2 to 4. And of course, we saw in that sermon that God wasn't pleased with it. And because God wasn't pleased with it and people were resistant to step forward, we saw how God himself withdrew his blessings from the people. Again, I think the sermon is online because all our sermons are online now, thanks to the PA team at the back of the church. Okay, so that's the first D. We need to watch out. Let's not be sucked into delaying God's project. The second D we need to watch out for is discouragement. If you go through Nehemiah as they were rebuilding the temple walls, they were discouraged by people who were saying it couldn't be done and so on and so forth. But discouragement comes in many forms. It may be struggles with the council. It may be that while we are rebuilding this church and restructuring the church, we may come across problems which need more money and so on and so forth. I'm not saying that that is what will happen, but it may happen. And when that happens, let's not be discouraged. Let's just be focused. And talking about focus, the other D that we need to be looking out for is distraction. Things coming along to distract us from the EGH project. That distraction may come from people. It may even come from us as a church overburdening ourselves, putting too many things on our plates, and then the EGH project is put to one side. It was one of the problems we had in the past, this distraction, doing other things instead of laser focusing on the EGH project. So we need to guard against distraction. So those are the 3 Ds: delay, discouragement, distraction. We need to be looking out for that. But don't forget the 4th D, because the 4th D is also very important. The 4th D is D, to dream, to keep dreaming and hoping and looking forward to the great work that God will do among us. Every time I thank you, I'm going to embarrass him, but thank you, David Mao. I'm not even sure that he's in church. He'll be in church today, but hey, thanks to David and Penny Mao for the wonderful job that they've been doing. Now, yeah, so back to dreaming. I've been looking at the latest plans and the annotations about what's going to happen where, and I've been dreaming about the possibilities, the missional possibilities of this EGH project. The marriage courses we could hold in there, the getting married courses, the bringing up teenagers, bringing up children courses we could do, the Financial Peace University. all done in a comfortable environment in which we can invite the community. And it's really, really very exciting to me, and hopefully, I think is exciting to you as well. If you look at the worship area, I kind of like the new baptismal. Really, really, really looking forward to the first baptismal candidates. Well, it can't be me because I got baptized when I was 19 and you're only supposed to be baptized once. Anyway, I'm going to leave you with this thought from Philippians chapter 4 and verse 19. And it says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So why don't we say that together? We can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. So thank you for listening to this. God bless you. Over and out.